Hi, we're back with some more Quantlab 101 sessions, and in this one we're going to develop some code uh, that we want to schedule on a server, so we can have a scheduled task that runs at a clock or how we want it to run. And so I'm going to show you the steps, the step by step, and I've made a little agenda for us. So first we're going to develop some code that we want to schedule, and then we're going to test the code before we put it on the server. And then we're going to deploy on the server, and I'm going to show you how to schedule a job using the new code that we did. And then we're going to see that we got the results that we wanted. So let's get to it. Let's jump into developing some code. And I've already started. And what you see now, you see the library files, and we're now accessing the server's libraries, and we have added our in the development folder. You can see that we have here prepared a file, which in the development folder of the system, and so we can work with it as a library file. And the first thing to note is that when you're running these kinds of programs on the server, it doesn't take a return value. So the return is a void. And because everything that happens in this program is going to be on the server. So it's either going to read something, write something, send something, but it has no return value. And I've prepared a little code. So we're pretending now that we need to fetch something from the web. So I've prepared a fetch statement from Bloomberg's OpenFigi using a JSON query. So we're going to query this OpenFigi site, and we're going to send a query and ask for the values for a ticker. And the ticker we're going to want to pass to the function later on. So we're going to replace our question mark with the ticker, and then we're going to send the request, and we're going to get a string back from the request, and then we're going to email this to our evil boss because he wants the results of this every time we run this query. And so that's the program. And the thing to note when doing server coding is that you need to, since you're not in runtime, you're not overseeing the process, you need to message a lot. You need a lot of logging. So we start out by saying that we're starting the program. We start running. And then if it ends successfully, we're going to have a log that says that we finished. And we're going to have a try catch. And if we end up in the catch, something went wrong, we're going to log that as well. And logging, a lot of logging, that's important when creating server code. So now we can test this. So we can test this in the development session. And then we want to return a string. So we're going to temporarily change to returning a string, and then we're going to recompile, and then we're going to insert an expression and use this function locally. So now we can have an out string test, and we're going to copy the same function header, and then we're going to call our function a1 test function with our ticker and our mail recipient. Okay, so that compiles, and we can import a table in which we can attach this function, and we're now ready to test this. So now we can add a ticker. Let's take a bank, SEB, and then who do we send this to? We send it to me, Robert, at algorithmica.se. and we're ready. And it actually works out of the box. So we get the JSON data back. So now we can remove this again and replace with the void and recompile. We can see that the file changed date, so we can actually open this file. It's actually just a plain text file that we're working with. So all the Qlang language is stored and run from plain text and compiled at runtime. But we're using it in the Quantlab developer setting. So now we're ready to go to the step 3 of our little program, deploying on the QLB server. So let's see how to do that then. So we have our file, our hello QL, and it's in our dev folder. So now we're ready to move it into the QLB jobs, where it will be automatically picked up by the server. And so now we move into the so-called ADMC, which is the web scheduling tool for running Quantlab code. And there's a previous job in this, so all these rows are jobs. And then we can create a new job. And we want to put in a group, and as my new job. And we want to have a description, hello, and a timeout, 10 minutes. And we enable this job. And then we need to search for our function that we did. So we're going to add an action, and we can see that the A1 test function is now amongst all the other functions that are available for this scheduler. So now we can write a ticker. Let's take another one, Eric B, and then let's send it to our boss then. Algorithmica research at gmail.com. And then we save it, and we save the job. And now it's not scheduled because we haven't asked it to be scheduled yet. So we can run it manually if we want. And so now it compiles, and we're now ready to try to run this job and see if it works. So let's just press run, and we'll just press it with the parameters we asked for. So it's running, and we can now mark it and check the log for this and see, well, it started and it finished, just like we asked the program to do some logging for us. And we can now see if it also mailed to the boss. And we can move into this to our mailbox and see that the mail is here. So we have now asked the OpenFigi service for a JSON request for the ticker Ericsson, and we get all the answers from that. And that's what our evil boss wants every day. That's the Quantlab 101 that I wanted to show you, how to develop, test, deploy, and schedule tasks using Quantlab and ADMC and the Quantlab server. Thank you very much.